If you're watching this, I'm recording this, I believe, a day after the Celtics win the championships. I'm recording this Tuesday night. The Celtics won Monday night. Um, hey, welcome to Ball Central. It's your boy Phil, the resident Celtics fan of the squad. Wow. 2008, July 17th. Sorry, June 17th. That's the last time the Celtics won a championship. Fast forward 16 years later, to do it again. Wow. I'm just this. I mean, it's just a video just to talk about what happened, everything that led up to this. And hey, I got some shit to talk. Absolutely. But first, before I get into everything, hey, Dallas Mavericks. The series was 4-1. It was 3-0 going to Dallas. Dallas won by below game four. Then they lost in game five. Hey, just my advice for the Mavericks going forward. Luca, 24 years old. I believe he's 24, under 25. He's always young. You got Kyrie, still an excellent player, even though he had a bad series. Those type of things happen, especially with especially with anyone on your team. So, best move, learn from it and move forward. Luca, yes, he's amazing offensively, but sometimes he can be a liability on defense. I'm not saying be the perfect defender or be like Kawhi Leonard, Dennis Rodman, but at least be somewhat of a decent defender, so you're not like targeted on offense all the time, like how the Celtics did against you. So I like how Stephen Curry did early in his career. He was a liability. He stepped up his defense, and not to like an amazing level, but how at least now that they won't target him as much, even though they probably do anyways because of the type. But yeah, I still think the Mavericks are missing a piece. Like I think Elijah said, maybe like a three or a four, a wing to help relieve the scoring from Luca and Kai, because Luca and Kai needed to score 30 every single game for them to win. And unless it was a blowout like game three, but they didn't most games and they lost most games. So, hey, it is what it is. So, hey, it was a good season, Dallas. Best season by far with the Luca and Kyrie duo. Best season so far for Luca. He made it to the final. So, hopefully, y'all can build up on this because the West is only going to get better next year. So, you got to make sure you're ready for it. As for Boston, what happened? They won in 4 games. They won in 5 games. Sorry. Um, wow, I can't believe it. Yeah. First off, hey, to all the Celtics that were part of this journey from 2008 until now that didn't win a ring, that had opportunities but couldn't. But it's all part of the process. You're gonna have to cycle through players to find that one group that can get the job done. In 2024, was the group that got the job done. Yes, there was, not the greatest of obstacles, like everyone's gonna say, a Mickey Mouse path, if you will. Uh, Jimmy Butler was hurt first round. Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen second round. Tyrese Halliburton the third round. Luca was limp, and Luca was not obviously 100%, so he was injured as well. But I mean, all the analysts still picked Dallas as well. What are the analysts that picked Dallas? So Shaq picked Dallas. Drake picked Dallas, even though he's not an analyst. Draymond Green said Dallas. Kendra Andrews, ESPN. Jerry Bembry, ESPN. Israel Gutierrez, Chris Herring, Tim Legler, Bobby Marks, David McMenamin, Omar Raja, see, Om Young Misuk, Jason McIntyre, Fox Sports, Jeff Schwartz, Fox Sports, Nick Wright, Fox Sports, Sam Quinn, CBS Sports, and Chris Broussard, Fox Sports, Stephen A. Smith as well, Udonis Haslam, and others picked Dallas. Like I said, I understand the Celtics on paper and visually are supposed to win this matchup, but damn, a lot of people really went for Dallas just because they hate Boston. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. I understand. The Celtics have been historically good this season, so not a lot of people want to go against them. And they're Boston, they're the Celtics. People are not going to want to pick them regardless. They'd rather see the underdog win, and Dallas was the underdog, despite all the analysts going for them, just because they knew who was going to win, but they didn't want them to win. So they chose with who they want to win instead of who they knew they were going to win. So that's how I feel in that situation. I don't think the Celtics sort of used the underdog mentality just because everyone was saying the Mavs, because it was literally Boston against the world, because everyone outside of Massachusetts and the Northeast wanted Dallas to win. So that was the mentality going in. Everyone and their family chose Dallas. So that's why the Celtics and Celtics fans felt like they were being underdogs. But if we compared rosters, it wasn't an underdog fight. The Celtics won in five for a reason, just the talent differential, etc., etc. So hey, congrats to them. This is just my thoughts type of video, not like anything structured, just random stuff. Um, so a lot of people are obviously going to talk about Jason Tatum versus Jaylen Brown because that's been the whole narrative ever since they got drafted on the same team. Uh, who's better? Whose team is it? Who's the alpha? Who's the beta? Robin, Batman, Batman, Robin, Batman, Batman, Robin, Robin. But they just fit. They just mesh together. They're like one fits another, another fits the other. It's just they complement each other, and that's how you're supposed to have teammates like that. Jason Tatum's weak in some things, and Jaylen Brown's strong in. Jaylen Brown's weak in some things that Jason Tatum's strong in. So, but they also want to talk about how Jason Tatum didn't win a Finals MVP, even though he's a champion. Um, I believe, in my personal opinion, this could have went either way for the Finals MVP. But if you look at everything, the stats, the storyline, the performances, the impact, Jaylen Brown does deserve it. He shot more efficiently. He had more meaningful buckets. I believe Jason Tatum lost it just because a good amount of his points were during some garbage time moments during their wins, and he was struggling mightily from the field, shooting like 20, 30%, et cetera, et cetera, when Jaylen was shooting like 40, 50 during like the first half of the series as well. So it's just well deserved by Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum, he could be a Finals MVP one day. I don't think he'll be an MVP personally, just because there's so many good players in the league. I think he's a top 10 player, not a top 5 player personally, just because I like to look at things realistically for the Celtics and Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has to do a lot for him to be a top 5 player in the league, even though he had a top 5, top 6-ish type of season, just because the Celtics were so good. But for Jason Tatum to be a top 5 player, like a lot of people like want to think he is, because they're treating him like he is, even though he's a top 10 player. He needs to be better scoring, decision making. He needs to be more consistent. Yeah, his shooting has been on and off. When he hits his threes, he's on, but most of the time he's off. So he needs to be more consistent and efficient with his shooting. I think that's the only problem there. His scoring performances. He can rebound, he can assist, he can play make, he can play defense as well. The scoring is going to separate you apart from the others. So get your scoring managed and efficient, you'll be there. But yeah, Jaylen Brown deserved it 100%. Even though they both shot terrible from three, Jaylen Brown he was guarding Luka most of the series. He did great on him actually, and he scored more meaningful buckets. So I'm proud of JB. Don't let, and he said during the finals run, like during the trophy presentation, fuck what you guys think, fuck the narratives, no left hand, JB versus JT. The Boston Celtics got a Mickey Mouse run toward the finals. They got a Mickey Mouse matchup in the finals. Fuck all the noise. They're champions regardless of what you say. And he's absolutely right. Uh, you can't you shouldn't apologize for who's in front of you. There's nothing you can do about it. You just got to play who's there. It's happened with plenty of teams. The Raptors did it against the Warriors. The Spurs played against the Cavs with LeBron just himself. So yeah, there's been plenty of moments in NBA history where it wasn't the ideal situation to win a championship, but it was a championship win regardless. The Warriors with Kevin Durant, uh, they they stacked the roster for a reason. They did what they got to do, and they handled business. Yeah, but everyone complaining about Boston, you would accept the championship in that same situation, for being perfectly honest. With everything going on, but yeah, it was a great. Drew Holiday played amazing. Two-way player, offense and defense. He was showing out 2011 and the clinching game. Great defense on Luka. Derek White as well. Good shooting as well with the defense. Porzingis tried his best after game 2 to come back, but the injury just did not allow him. So Porzingis, thank you for the effort at least. Al Horford did great with some defense on the switches on Luka as well. Uh, just a lot. Payne Pritchard, buzzer beater master. Payne Pritchard hit a buzzer beater in game 3, I believe, and game 5 before half. So shout out Payne Pritchard. Yeah, just all this adding up from 2008 till now. The Celtics have fallen short numerous occasions with Kyrie, with Kemba as their point guard. I think, and also with finally Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown as the top guys in 2022. It's just happy to see that the Celtics and Brad Stevens did not give up on them, even though a lot of people were saying break them up, even though they're like young as hell. They're not going to be able to work together. That's been a narrative ever since. And now it's nice to see that narrative go to bed to say these two won championship as the top guys. No Kyrie, no Kemba, no Gordon Hayward. Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum are your top two guys. And it wasn't pretty, of course, from Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, but they got the job done regardless. So, yeah, I'm just happy to see it. Um, Honestly, where they go from here, we're going to see a lot of Jason Tatum talk. Whether he's copying catchphrases from other superstars and icons in pop culture, copying KG, anything's possible, copying Steph Curry and what they're going to say now, Kanye West, I guess we'll never know, etc., etc. I mean, hey, Jason Tatum, whatever he does, he's going to be the type of player that's going to get ridiculed regardless. So you might as well just have fun with what you're doing. Have fun with what you're doing, put a smile on your face, make sure you ball. Give them if you must be doing something right if if they nonstop talk about you, Jason Tatum. I know this is probably not going to see this, but this is me speaking how I feel. That's for any NBA star that gets heavily ridiculed. I mean, Jason Tatum is one of the most hated players on social media. And they've been hating on him ever since he won a championship as well. Oh, you didn't win a Finals MVP. You're not the best player on your team. Yada yada yada. Even though it could have went either way personally, and B, he led the Celtics in points, rebounds, and assists not only throughout the playoffs but in the finals as well per game, and I believe maybe totals. But hey, winning championships sometimes is going to be a thankless job just because sometimes they're going to highlight one player to try to pit them against each other like Kobe and Shaq, like the Lakers. They also had 450 plus points through 3 postseasons together in a row, just like Kobe and Shaq. So Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown breaking more records. So shout out to them. Just for Jason Tatum, hey, just championships solve everything. You don't like the way they're talking about you? Win more championships. There's not going to be a lot to say when you win championships. Of course, they're still going to talk because people who haven't won much are going to talk like they have won much. So it is what it is at this point. Jason Tatum, just put your head down, keep winning, solidify your legacy, do what you got to do. And for Jalen Brown, the $300 million was worth it. I was one of the skeptical ones saying, we paid this guy this much money. Are we sure that he can do it? So I owe Jalen Brown an apology as well. I had a little bit of doubt in him. I was like him as a player, but there was some doubt for the 300 mil. I wanted to be involved in the Damian Lillard trade, but proved me wrong, proved everyone wrong. Gladfully so. So congrats on a contract well deserved. And hey, hopefully there's more championships because you need to win 4 in one more year for Taylor Rooks. So we'll see how that turns out. Who else to say thank you? Al Horford, journeyman, 17 years, 18 years in the NBA. He was a winner in Florida. Now he's a winner in the NBA. Hey, I believe he should be going to the Hall of Fame, not a first ballot, but I think he'll get there eventually. Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, the best trades in the offseason because they resulted in a championship. I mean, the Celtics needed to upgrade it from Marcus Smart just because he's not as good as an offensive player as Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart has his moments, but he was lacking in near offense with 3-point shooting and playmaking as well. And Drew Holiday excels in both of those. So it was an upgrade much needed. It was a sacrifice that had to be made, just like DeMar DeRozan for Toronto or for Kawhi in this moment exactly. So it's tough to see Marcus Smart not get a ring with Boston, but it's nice to see them get a ring because of everyone's sacrifice and a lot of sacrifices made by past Celtics who couldn't get the job done. So as for me, as for what the Celtics do now, re-sign Derek White, re-sign Payton Pritchard. I think he already re-signed him. Jason Tatum, Supermax, and go from there. I think they should probably add a big and a forward to the bench to try to add some depth because I feel like it was nice, you relied on your big six to help get the job done, but with Porzingis' health and Al Horford getting older, you need to reshore and upgrade that big man spot. So does it mean Luke Cornett? Does it mean Neemias Queta? Or does it mean someone else like an Andre Drummond for me personally? But hey, we'll see. But hey, so with that being said, hey, everyone who picked the Mavs to win the series, what happened? The Celtics, especially the Lakers fans, hey, guess who's not tied anymore? 18-17. Your turn to get back on the board, Bucko. So with that being said, for me personally, the Celtics are your 2024 NBA champions, The season's over. Can't wait for next season. Can't wait to see what the offseason brings because players can talk to their own teams about signing contracts back with their own teams officially today and moving forward. So we might get some news early. I'm excited to see how the Boston Celtics like recoup and try to regroup and try to go for a back to back because that hasn't been done in like 6 or 7 years. And hey, with that being said, Boston's your champions. Deal with it until next year. And with that being said, we'll see you next time on Baller Central. Yeah.